Hey, shuckalaka kapow, how's it going, old schoolers? You're kicking it old school at Russell JS, and I am your host, Russell JS. I got a different, unique kind of battle royale. I know you might think that, oh, but this is an old school, but you know what? To a lot of teenagers today, or 20 somethings, it would be old school. The two albums are going to battle it out. You see, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, MTV was just cluttered with all this god awful bubblegum jailbait pop slush. Backstreet Boys, Britney Spears, In Suck, Christina Aguilera. Here you were, they were grooming, the industry was grooming these kids to be fresh face and lip sync on stage. Where, a lot of bands, it didn't matter. Very few bands, like in the metal genre, like say, Pantera and Metallica, not really so much Pantera, but Metallica and, Ozzy were able to get videos on MTV. It was that time in the late 1990s where VH1 was actually cool to the hard rock community. But by the late 90s, early 2000, hard rock, you had stuff like the Kiss reunion tour, the Kiss Psycho Circus tour, and coming soon, the Kiss farewell tour. You had the Sex Pistols did a reunion tour, Sabbath. Like all these bands that, they're doing the been there, done that, what do you call it, tour circuit. Showing like younger bands how it's done. And before you know it, you got younger bands coming out. Like you have Saliva coming out. You have Nickelback coming out. You had Dave Grohl, even after the demise of Nirvana and Kurt Cobain, he came out with his own band, the Foo Fighters, and really crap artists such as Marilyn Manson and Limp Bizkit. I was not a fan. But you know what? There were some bands that had come out, and two of them I'm gonna go ahead and have their debut albums duke it out against one another. Who am I talking about? How about Godsmack versus Puddle of Mud Come Clean? Now the thing is, Godsmack, the first time I heard the name, I remember hearing the song Voodoo, and I thought to myself, God, this is probably what the Doors would sound like today had they come out in this day and age. Sully kind of has that kind of Jim Morrison type of vibe to him that, I just can't explain. And then Puddle of Mud, just your average new version of hard rock. Some people tried to say, oh, they're Alice in Chains wannabes, they're Nirvana wannabes. They weren't a wannabe of anything. They were wannabes of themselves. And you know what? They were great. And I'm going to go ahead and put their first albums against one another. And remember, if you're new to the channel, feel free to hit a like, subscribe, leave comments in the box down below, ring the bell for notifications, and also, tell your family and your friends, your mom, your dad, your aunt, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your ex-girlfriend, your ex-boyfriend, your son, your daughter, your grandson, your granddaughter, your cousins, your teachers, your coworkers, your roommates, your cellmates, your pets, anybody who likes to kick it old school. And now let's see, let me get to where I have it written down here in my book. I know I wrote it down. Let's see here. All right, here we are. And without further ado, let's see how these bad Oscars rank out, shall we? In the case of Godsmack versus Puddle of Mud. Check this out. Moon Baby from Godsmack versus Control. You know what? They're both great tunes. And I can see I'm going to have a lot of ties, so I might have to get a quarter. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back. All right, I got a quarter. So that way, if there are 3 or more ties in tracks, I could go ahead and flip the coin. And this time, instead of letting it land in my hand, I'm gonna let it land and let fate decide. So here we go. Moon Baby versus Control. Love them both. I love them both so much, I had to give them each a point. Whatever versus Drift and Die. Again, man, both these bands are awesome where they're so far tying. Now here we go, we're gonna have a third tie. Keep Away versus Out of My Head. All right, here's where it goes. All right, heads, it's gonna be Keep Away, and tails, Out of My Head. So here we go, let's let the coin of fate decide. And the winner is heads. Heads is the winner, so Keep Away gets the point. You know, instead of taking the thing down there, I might just pick it up just slightly and flip it that way. All right, Time Bomb versus Nobody Told Me. You know what? I had to go with Time Bomb on that one. Bad Religion versus Blurry once again. Oh man, these albums must be that great. I mean, this is going to be a true stroke of fate, you know, or luck of the draw. So here we go. Heads, it is going to be Bad Religion, and tails, it'll be Blurry. And the winner is, I'm going to pick it up slightly. Here we go. And it is heads. So, Bad Religion takes the win for that one. Okay, Immune versus She Hates Me. Once again. Man, I don't know what it is with these two albums. I mean, one from the late 90s, one from the early 2000s, and they're killer. You know, I'm wondering if I think I'm going to put one of these up in another album versus album battle royale, maybe against Nickelback's Silver Side Up. So let's see, Immune versus She Hates Me. Heads, Immune, tails, She Hates Me. And here we go. Oh. I got to do this very careful like. And it is tails, She Hates Me. Someone in London versus Bring Me Down. Well, here's where, you know, nobody takes a win there. I didn't care for both those songs, but still we've got Get Up, Get Out versus Never Change. So here we go, and it's a tie. So heads, Get Up, Get Out, and tails, Never Change. And that was a bit of a dud. And the winner is heads, Get Up, Get Out. Now or Never versus Basement. Oh man, this is killer. This is to the extreme killer. I mean, I must really love these albums. I think I'm going to go back to these again and listen. You know, that is when I get my sheets out of the laundry and do my bed. I mean, let's see. Now or Never will be heads. Basement will be tails. Who's going to be our winner? Dud. And the winner is, it is tails, Basement. I wonder if that was inspired by the Ramones, I Don't Want to Go Down to the Basement. I don't know. Okay, number 10, Stress versus Said. Well, no point for Said, so Stress takes the win. Situation versus Blanket All Away. You know what? Heads, Situation, tails, Blanket All Away. And the winner is Situation. Now, the last song. Unfortunately, Godsmack has 12 tracks, Puddle of Mud has 11, and I've got it marked for Voodoo to be the winner. So the winner is, we got Godsmack with 8 points, Puddle of Mud with 5. Winner, Godsmack. Now, I've got others that are cooking and brewing ready to, I might go ahead and do maybe yet another video tonight. I'm not sure. I got to go ahead and I got to do my laundry. And I hope you enjoyed this video because I know there's going to be a lot of Godsmack fans who'll probably see this. If Puddle of Mud would have won, you'd been like, oh, I bet you don't like Godsmack. That's what it is. Or some people might say, oh, you just don't like Puddle of Mud. And it has nothing to do with it. It's a stroke of fate. The quarter decides when it lands. But that's all the time I got for this video. Remember, keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it chill. Keep listening to old school music. Watch old school movies. Watch old school TV shows. Play old school video games. And God, I can't believe you can consider this old school or classic rock now. It makes me feel old. I'm 48 years old. To me, classic rock, I remember classic rock when I was a teenager was, somewhere between the Rolling Stone, everything from the Rolling Stones to early Aerosmith and Bruce Springsteen, But nowadays, classic rock's Metallica, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Pantera. Oh man. But keep it real, keep it fresh, get you enough of love, get you enough of peace, get you enough of tranquility, get you enough of less chaos, no chaos, less drama, no drama, get you enough of anything your heart truly desires. And as always, I wish you Godspeed. May the force be with you always, and shaka-laka kapow!